Hello and welcome to Simon Says Artwork. In this video I'm going to be showing you a doodle which I draw on some packaging that I got when I was sent some kind of a parcel or other. It was either going to be pens or a book or something like that, but either way the cardboard packaging is always something which I rub my hands together and enjoy using as well, because I just love that mid-tone of the surface area. So yeah, okay, let's get started. Well, this was something which I had seen a Peter Draws video where he'd drawn something which was a solid shape, and then everything that he drew after that was as though it was like a trash compactor where everything was spilling out from underneath. And I thought, I'm not going to copy what he's done. Instead, I'd like to draw a solid shape and have almost tentacles come out of the lower part of the drawing, or the container I should say, and to cross them over so that they are like cables, or just add that complication. And that was my starting point, and everything beyond that was unknown. Even the bottom of the tentacle shape was something which I had to make a decision about at the time, which is why they're just strange little blobs and notches and things like that, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I just thought, if I start off with this kind of layering of lines and marks, then it will be something which will tantalize the eyes, which is what I always found I appreciated with Peter Draws doodles, is that he would just have a way of creating more and more and more to the drawing, which would just create this chaotic scene of texture and motion and form. So that's what I was trying to create with this doodle, and it's on some packaging, as you can tell, which I do like drawing on cardboard. And I just think it's quite nice to have, instead of a bright white, a more restful tone for the surface. And once you've done all these little details at the bottom, you do have a bit of a decision to make when it comes to what's the detail on the container. I'd done those little marks at the top because I was trying to make it as centered as possible by measuring it with the cap of the pen, based on the folded edges of the cardboard sleeve that I was drawing on. So I then had to decide what's going to happen at this top part. So I started to draw containment areas and sectioned off points, and then was whilst I was drawing this, thinking about what could happen inside, and it turns out that it just had to be a doodle again. So I started with an egg-like oval, which I didn't get right at first, so I drew around and around again until it was fairly symmetrical looking oval. And then I started to blast out sharp looking almost petals, but as if they were razor edged petals, almost like wings, or some kind of metallic kind of shapes. And then on the other side, more spikes, because I thought, if I make it the same on both sides straight away, I'll be struggling to try and make it exactly the same. So if I make it different, then I can make each side go in its own direction, really, and express its own kind of development on each the left and the right of this center oval. And then I did what almost looks like little flowers at the ends of the tips of these needle like spikes that I did, and that was because I knew that if I'd done those, then I can create something which goes around those and just keep on blasting it out. So I did circles around those, and I think if you do these things, it's just trying to play with shapes, and it's almost like mandalas, and it becomes something where each shape can suggest another pattern that can layer outside of that until it's created a whole lattice of different loops and arches. And I think that can be really nice. And when it's all laid down together, it doesn't look like flower petals anymore. It looks like part of a complicated structure. Just as you can see there on the left hand side, it's just all worked into itself and everything just disappears into this complication. And then on the other side, I thought if I do something slightly different, where instead of flowering outwards, it just droops downwards as loops, then again, I can use that as a way to launch pad the next decision that I make, which is loops around that, and then outside of those loops to maybe do the petal arches, and then outside of those petal arches do, you know, a different shape that outlines those, and bars that come off of that, and outside of those bars or within those bars there can be different lines that section it off. It's just all minute details, so it just creates this strange pattern inside, and that's what I think creates this interesting looking pattern. And there's the finished piece. Okay, so that's the drawing done. Now I do think that I could do a different version of that now, and I should really revisit some of these types of ideas, just because things like that were a good prompt, but I should really try to improve upon that now. There's a lot of shoulds in that sentence, so I'll see what I do in the near future. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.